Ghostcrawler, the Brofist 2-wall coming straight at you. Firstly, if this lighting goes a little bit more crazy than it already is, look at that. I'm trying to dodge it. If it goes any worse than that, somebody in the chat let me know, because I generally can't see myself. Let me know. I'm trying to not make it an issue, but it could be an issue. Okay? Just going to point it out there. Let's crack on with the show, and welcome to today's Daily Preach on Thursday. There was no Wednesday Daily Preach, and for that I solely apologise. The person who was most angry was myself. I actually look forward a lot to the Daily Preach. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass if I'm rushing and I'm busy during the day, but ultimately when I actually do it, it's really cool, awesome. And yesterday, the thunder and lightning struck in this area somewhere, and suddenly the internet just went boo. Internet going down is massive failure. I don't know how we existed before the internet. I have all this equipment. I'm surrounded by thousands of pounds worth of equipment. And when the internet goes off, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with any of it. I'm like, oh shit, the internet's off. It's like the movies, you know, where like technology disappears and the kids suddenly leave their homes and go and play in the street. Although it's actually nothing like that. We all sit here like, when's the internet coming back on? Like on the phone, like, hey dude, the internet's off. What the fuck, man? Yeah, the internet went off and that was a huge failure. A few huge failures. I've had a massive amounts of failures. Where is it? Where is it? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. This, and I'm sure most people who own a PC have one of these. This is my trusty screwdriver that always can remove the screws from PCs. I've had this thing for so long. It is my godsend. This is like my right arm. When things go wrong, I need my screwdriver. I give it a name. I caress it at night. I like reach into a bush and the screwdriver comes to it. It's like Thor's hammer. It's like the trusty screwdriver. Something's gone wrong. Before we begin to talk about WoW stuff and patch 5.04, 5.0.4, gotta get that right, I just want to have a moan about ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2. I know for many of you, you're not having any issues. However, a lot of people are having issues. ArenaNets don't seem to give a fuck. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the fact that I had to deal with it made it even more disgusting because I'm not even playing the game. They got on my nerves. They got on the end of my cock and rubbed sandpaper on it, and I'm not even playing the game. Fuck ArenaNet. ArenaNet, let me take you through some issues of ArenaNet. ArenaNet, if you don't know, are the people who created Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 on my PC runs fine. Runs no problems at all. When they first launched the game on release day, Emma, of course, was playing on the pre-release. We had a copy of the pre-release and she was playing it. She then had to relog as the game went live, much as you will do in a month's time. When Mr. Pandaria logs on, you'll be playing Cataclysm and then you'll get a message that says, hey, relog, Mr. Pandaria is now live. And that's all very well and good. Unless Ben goes insane. In the middle of my speech, Emma hopefully is resolving that issue. Issue resolved. Low-tech support coming in handy there. ArenaNet, when the game went live, obviously the login servers were spammed. Zerg. As being a veteran baller of the internet and MMOs, I expected this. How often have we said it's the Diablo syndrome? When things launch, things get messy. ArenaNet did not even tell people that they were the ones having the problems. I knew, because I've seen it before. But their message was quite clear. Your computer is stopping you connecting to Guild Wars 2. Your firewall is doing it. This is doing it. Perhaps your campus security is doing this. Did anybody else see this fucking message? Did anybody see this message? It was retarded. So Emma, as being a novice, newbie of the internet, was looking upon her Guild Wars 2 login and going, there's something wrong with a firewall. I was like, there's nothing wrong with our firewall. Apparently you've got to open a port. I was like, we don't have to open a port for Guild Wars 2. Oh no, it says it here, there's something wrong. ArenaNet made messages and varieties of this message that said it was your problem, you have to fix it. When it wasn't, it was their problem. The login servers are full. And then I could be all smug. I was like, hey, you know what? World of Warcraft says the logging servers are down. World server is down. We've seen that message before, haven't we? And they freely admit, hey, it's our problem. Don't do anything crazy on your side. I didn't mind, because I was saying to Emma, no, don't worry about it, it's their problem. And she says, are you sure? Because this message says it's our problem. It's like, no, it's their problem. But what if somebody didn't have me there? What if somebody didn't have someone like you there who has seen this issue before and are going to their friends, they're on the phone, hey, I bought this brand new game, I've paid £30 for it, or £50 if you've got the pre-order, and I can't log in. It says my firewall is doing something. And then you get some guy on the phone who isn't experienced with this stuff, and he's saying the same thing. Oh, maybe your firewall is blocking it. You need to mess around with these settings. I fucking hate that. Take responsibility for your own stuff. Further to this, Emma does eventually log in on our second machine, and she was going to do some recording so we could talk a little bit about Guild Wars 2. Ultimately, every 5 minutes, she was disconnected, saying an unrecoverable graphical error has occurred. Please update your drivers. I was like, the drivers are up to date, so it can't be that. So I checked NVIDIA's website. Lo and behold, there are some beta drivers out, which are slightly newer, but don't mention anything of Guild Wars 2, so I install the beta drivers as a checker. Logs in again, same error. It's your graphics problems. Take to the internet. ArenaNet have taken their forums down on launch day. Fabulous. Obviously to hide any QQ that's going on. But some fan sites are reporting heavy disconnecting issues and this unrecoverable graphics error problem going widespread. Ultimately, 2 days later, Emma has not been able to play Guild Wars 2 on this machine. And Guild Wars 2 or ArenaNet have not released any fix for it. And they have still not said there is a problem. This problem is widespread around the internet. So angry. That is fucking disgusting customer service. That is really bad. Really bad. And another Guild Wars 2 note. A lot of people leaving already purely because of this overflow system we talked about on day one. You can't play with your friends. I actually spoke to Blubzor, who's playing Guild Wars 2, and he explained it to me more readily, as he is transferring servers every single day. If you don't know how it works on Guild Wars 2, unlike World of Warcraft, where you have a realm selection and you create characters on that realm, you have 5 character slots, or 6, or whatever it might be, and then you have to transfer your home. You can't have multiple characters on different realms. It just doesn't work that way. So what you have is this option to transfer your characters to different realms for free, at a whim, and then those servers fill up. If a server is full and you log in, you go to what's called the overflow server. The overflow server is people who aren't actually on the realm they want to play on. It's a dumping ground for all the people who are in the queue. So although you're in the queue, you're still playing the game. It's quite a nice idea. However, if people you want to play with aren't in the overflow server, they have to leave their server, join the overflow server, and then re-enter the queue themselves. This has really massive problems potentially for large-scale events. Something to think about there. I liked how Star Wars The Old Republic did it. Anything that hit high, the server was locked. You couldn't make a character there. That's how it should be. If the server hits high, lock the server, force people to go elsewhere. Brilliant. What we have now, and speaking to other friends, is people hopping, transferring their homeworld literally every couple of hours once they start seeing high hit on their realms. So not cool for Guild Wars 2. Not cool. A little bit of downside there. Still people enjoying the game though. Not criticising the game. The game seems fine. I played it for a little bit because watching Emma try and do something in that game is the most frustrating experience of my fucking life. Oh my god. It's like when your friend, even a good games player, comes to your house and they're trying to do a part of a game that you know how to do and you're watching over their shoulder. It's frustrating, right? Watching your fiance do it is just the most infuriating thing ever because you can't get mad. You can't be like, what the fuck are you doing? Give me the pad. You can't do that. You really can't do that. And in Guild Wars 2, there are things called Vista Points where you have to go and collect certain areas and take in the scenery and stuff like that. Very similar to how a Datacron system works in Star Wars The Old Republic. There's even skill points out in the world to go and collect. They're like puzzles like the Datacrons were. Some of them are easy to get, some of them are like jumping Mario style puzzles. Emma can't use a mouse properly yet, she's getting better. And one of them involved jumping from platform to platform, very Mario-esque. 20 minutes I'm watching her be unable to turn her character in the correct direction, move forward and jump at the same time. 20 minutes. I'm sat here in this chair, she's on my PC. I'm like, my fucking god. And I'm trying to contain my seething rage, right? I'm trying to contain this burning desire to tear the keyboard out of the PC, smash her in the face with it, open the window, leap to my death, and be free of this torment again. Oh my god, it's literally like fighting a Burning Crusade resto druid. It was like that. It was awful. And then ultimately she said, can you have a go at it? 5 seconds. Fucking did it. I was like, yes! Yes, I could do it! Oh my god, done. Thank god I don't have to see that anymore. It's infuriating. I can't stand it. And then last night, of course, the internet came back up very late, too late for a daily, and she wanted to play. She said, do you want to come and watch me play? I'm going to do some Battlegrounds. Instinctively, I thought, I want to see the PvP. And then instantly logic just went, kaboom! Like a big Mr. Spot kick to the face. It went, no, 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 no. And I went downstairs and I watched myself some amazing wedding cakes. A great TV show, actually. I fucking enjoy it. Those people make some cracky stuff out of crazy fucking stuff out of wedding cakes. Awesome. A little bit ladylike, I know, but fuck it. I enjoy it. I ain't ashamed. I watched some amazing wedding cakes. Awesome. So, graphics card fried in the other machine as well, which is why I've had my screwdriver out, trying to fix stuff and swapping memory and all sorts of stuff. It's been one of those days. But the internet did come back on this morning, which was cool. And I got to check out 5.04. We'll get to that shortly. And also, Orcs Must Die 2, in some gaming news, released some DLC. I know a lot of you aren't big fans of the Orcs Must Die 2 stuff. It's still going to come. We're building a wider audience. That's part of it, is there going to be different games on the channel. I know most of you subscribe for World of Warcraft stuff, and that's fine. But we are growing the channel. The World of Warcraft stuff is still there. I did see a complaint from someone saying there's not enough World of Warcraft content, although there was a video every single day for a week before he posted it. 5 videos in 5 days, that's enough World of Warcraft content. It really is. So the Orcs Must Die 2 DLC came out with 3 new maps. It's really cheap. It's like £4. Three new maps, loads of new mobs, new endless stuff. We did it and completed it today. There'll be a quick video tomorrow summarising the 3 new levels. So check that stuff out. That's cool. Okay. 5.04. I am not accepting any questions that are relating to your class being overpowered or underpowered right now. In general, I don't answer those questions anyway. But seriously, don't email me, don't send me a message asking what is going on, or lol, my class is too powerful, dude, I'm dying so fast, what shall I do? I'm not reading it. But you're not wrong, okay? The game is hugely unbalanced right now, hugely unbalanced. The people who are really just accepting of Blizzard's fingering in the hole, like, oh yeah, take it buddy, are going to say, it's alright guys, it's balanced for level 90. That is true. It's also wrong. It's true in that is what's happening. Things are balanced around level 90. All big changes are in. People are enjoying the classes. That's fine. However, there are still going to be people, no matter how many people are level 90, who aren't level 90 and are leveling through. Things are still broken. They are not balanced. And they should be. People are not wrong in complaining that things are hugely unbalanced right now. Massively unbalanced. And they're always unbalanced just before an expansion. Before Wrath of the Lich King, things for a week or 2 weeks were really unbalanced. Before Cataclysm, the same thing. Before the TBC, when we got all the new talent stuff, things were hugely unbalanced. I remember when Bladestorm joined the game. When Bladestorm joined the game, we just ran arenas with 3 warriors and just Bladestormed the other team and won. There was nothing anybody could do about it. It's not right. It isn't right. Over time, they don't really care. You won't be at level 85 or 83 or 84 or 86 for a very short period of time. That does not fix the issue that the game is massively unbalanced now below level 90. It's hugely unbalanced. It really, really is. I played 5.04 for about 20 minutes today. I was that busy. I did the Mistweaver video. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed that video. What a weird situation that was in. The video that the intro is taken from, which I'm sure the video will be mostly watched for as the intro, was actually the first take I did of it today. I'd done 3 or 4 takes at that video and wasn't happy with either of them or all of them, so I did it again today. I woke up, had a shower, took Ben for a walk in a country park. We get up very early, we take Ben for a walk, come home, get cleaned up, then I go for a take. I can't just wake up and start recording. I'd be like, oh, and then I did it. So around about 8 AM, I sat down to record the video. And the first take is that Jade Temple dungeon. And to be honest, everything went pretty fine up until that boss. When I realised, because I had the healing meter showing, that in fact the only DPS in the dungeon was that Warlock. And then the Warlock got locked out of the dungeon. I then saw that nobody else could do any DPS. It was actually the Warlock during the chat said, hey guys, I was the only DPS in this dungeon. The rest of the guys are terrible. Can we reset it and go again? And then it turned into a 13-minute boss fight. And my commentary obviously just went completely to shit, and I'm thinking, oh, this is terrible. So I just carried on playing. and was expecting a wipe. And lo and behold, with the monk being as powerful and as cleverly designed as it is, I managed to keep everybody alive, which was not easy over 13 minutes because my mana bar was going like this. The last comment in that is that I'm really, really out of mana. I've lost the ability to do anything anymore, guys, and then they managed to bring it down. It was just pretty incredible for me. But what do I do with a 13-minute healer video? How fucking boring would that be? Oh, God, the 13-minute healing video? That'd be terrible. So I thought about time-lapsing, and when I time-lapsed it, it looked really fast and enjoyable and stuff, and then I thought, hey, you know what? I find this really entertaining. Healing sped up looks much, much better, especially when you start seeing the numbers roll into the millions. It's a shame that wasn't much more clear on the video. That's why I had to put the number at the top in text. But that's just a limitation of life. What can you do? So I'm so glad you guys really enjoyed that. I'm going to be taking questions in about 5 minutes. I hope the live audience has got some good my class is OP or underpowered questions. All the questions I got today, after flicking through them, were just ridiculous stuff. I got killed in a BG in 2 seconds by a fire mage. I'm sure you did. Yes, it's unfair. There's no point in me commenting on it. A lot of people asking me for 5.0.4 guides. Check the beta Mr. Pandaria guides. Every class is done. I completed every class today. That was the last video of a class guide before Mr. Pandaria launches. I just forgot. But yes, it is. That's it. They're all done. I've done them all. I've done all 30, no, more. 37 specs, I think. 34 specs. 34 specs. 2 videos a piece. That was 68 videos we created in order to get you guys through the Mr. Pandaria beta. Finished it today. So, yeah, thanks and the gratsies for that. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, definitely, that was fucking cool as well. Moving back to 5.04, I want to know for tomorrow, for Friday, it's the big relaxing preachy daily, where we relax for the weekend. I want to know, what are you most excited about 5.04? What was the thing that really grabbed you by the nuts and you went, that is awesome, that was cool? You know what it was for me? The stupidest little things. And don't anybody tell you the little things don't matter. The little things really matter. Out of all the changes in patch 5.0.4, only one thing made me go, yes, I got the Immortal title on my warrior. Oh, yes! Thank the Lord. So you know how many times I tried to get the Immortal on my warrior? I got it on my druid, like server second behind Method. They were still Alliance at the time. They got it first, then we got it second. And it was a brilliant moment. After that, the rest of the guild wasn't too interested in running it again for the people who didn't get it the first time. Of course, every week you're trying to get it. This was the point we instilled. Some people would go, hey, are we going for Immortal this week? We're going for Immortal every week. You shouldn't be dying on bosses. What if we don't say you're going for Immortal, you're going to suicide the boss? I don't understand the question. But we never got it again in the 25-man. I think a couple of the 10-mans got it. And I didn't care. I was playing my druid as a main, so it didn't bother me too much. Only towards the end of the expansion did I try and get it on my warrior, which should have been really easy. But we... Funny story is the last boss we had to kill, or the second to last boss, was Maxina. I think she's called Maxina? No, Grand Widow Fairlina. Which is a really, really easy boss, especially in the gear we had at the time. In the full like ICC gear. Incredibly easy to do. But at the very... I think it was about 10%. One of our DKs, a very good DK. In fact, he was a priest main. He was on his alt. This priest was #1 in the world in 2v2 Rep Paladin Disc Priest. It's very specific, I know, but #1 in the world is still awesome. It was a very popular spec combo at the time. He was #1 in the world. Really, really fantastic player. One of the better players I've ever met, actually, which made it even more infuriating. He was on his DK, and at like 3% she enrages. So I was tanking on my warrior, and she enrages because you're supposed to drag ads over her, but nobody ever does that. You just cleave the ads down and then you kill her. And 3% or 4% or something, he just death grips her and dies instantly. Just gets one shot by the boss. Mother of God. And I never tried again. I was so angry after that, I'd never bothered. And then, I have the Immortal title on my warrior. Oh, that was glorious. I was terrified, actually. I was on Skype with the guys today. I logged in for the first time. I logged straight onto my warrior. Lo and behold, no Immortal title. And I was like, what the... You know, I was raging so hard. And then the guy's like, no, you need to log the character that has the title, then you can turn the title. So I logs my druid, logs back to my warrior, there's my Immortal title. Beautiful. I was like mousing over myself. How sad is that? I'm just mousing over myself going, preach the Immortal. Yeah! Yeah, that's so awesome. Yes, it was Casabaras. Casabaras, yeah. I didn't get the Undying because someone in the chat. Oh, the Undying. Only Scrubs went for the Undying. Oh, so many people going to rage tomorrow. 10 man is the same thing, Preacher. Not when you have Immortal over your head. That's not the case. So I want to know what you guys are excited about 5.0.4. Before the show started, we definitely had people asking, are we still looking for games for the Mr. Pandaria launch that we can all play together while the servers are down and we're all prepared and all that kind of stuff? Yes! Team Fortress 2 is looking most likely. Team Fortress 2, lots of people interested in playing that. Free to play, a little bit of fun. We can have the ballers versus the audience, all that kind of stuff. We'll be live streaming it, of course. 24-hour live show, hopefully. Will last the whole 24 hours. It's going to be glorious. But check the preachgaming.com forums this week. I'm going to be putting some requests and stuff up there for you guys about Mr. Pandaria launch. Loads of stuff coming in Mr. Pandaria. I'm going to do a sort of announcement video of the things you can expect to see from the channel in Mr. Pandaria. Over the last year, I've been able to space my videos out with the guides. In order to make a viable business, I'm going to be doing all the guides in pretty much the first 2 weeks of Mr. Pandaria, which is going to be about 68 videos. So be prepared for channel spam. Nothing much I can do about that. It's from a business point of view, it's what needs to happen. But long term, it makes sense to do that, okay? So there'll be a lot of videos just flying out. They'll all be good videos, hopefully. I won't lose my voice or anything. That is one of my biggest worries, is losing my voice. Or maybe just not being interesting towards the end of them. I might get to the monk and be like, yeah, so the monk's pretty cool, I guess. Just check the other guides. But I'm going to be doing all your gemming, all the final changes, because beta testing is still going. The beta servers are still up. There are still changes going ahead. They're still doing 25 heroic testing. So when it comes to actually gemming and stuff like that and enchanting, that's not finalized yet. I'm going to do a whole video so you guys know how to gem, how to do everything, and then we're going to go into specifics of your rotations. And we're also going to be doing all sorts of other interesting stuff we've got planned to make to obviously get regular content out to you guys. It's going to be awesome. So let's take your damn questions. Damn questions. Okay, yeah, let's move on to this subject then while you type your questions. Start typing your questions now. Wow, that was really fast, dude. Alright, I'll answer this question first. With the game being as unbalanced as it is now, this is from Jones2110. I'm looking for a guild that is very nice and active and experienced raiding guild. I'm afraid what the unbalance that I might not be able to show off my ability as well as I should do. Do you have any suggestions as to what I should do? I wouldn't worry about that at all, okay? Don't worry about applying for guilds now because of all the unbalance. Everybody in those guilds is in the same position. They're all going to be testing and fanning around with their new stuff, new specs, all that kind of stuff. So don't worry about it. You're not in a, it's not a unique thing to you, okay? It's not unique to you that that's happening. Everybody in the guild is going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be trying out their new stuff. They're going to be playing around. They're going to be making mistakes. I'm surprised how many people, this is what I want to move on now before I take any more questions. I had this open there. I read the forums today. I never go on the WoW forums. Another little topic for you guys to talk about in the YouTube comments and to let me know. Do you go on the WoW forums? Do you? What do you think when you go on there? I go on them for a little bit of enjoyment. I haven't been on them for a few months, but I decided to go on today purely because I love the rage and the humour that I take from that, which is kind of cruel, I know, from people who had like no expectation of what was going to happen with patch 5.0.4. They're like, what's going on? I don't know if you guys go on there. Some interesting topics you might find is the LFR loot system change, like the 20 or 30 page thread that's already there from people who didn't know anything was going to change in the loot system in LFR. That's been out for about 6 months now. I think that change was made maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Like they made this huge post. They've repeated that post multiple times. Every news source in terms of WoW, besides me, I think covered this. And they're all like, dude, what's going on in LFR? What have you done? And there's so much rage. I then travelled down to the WoW PvP Battlegrounds forum, which is just the best. Oh man, that shit is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen the word gazillion used in so many different contexts so quickly. There's fire mages complaining about paladins gazillion holy shocking them to death, and then there's paladins complaining that they got a gazillion pyroblasts in the face. All this kind of stuff's going on. Brilliant. If you're ever bored or if you're of the mindset that you can read into it and just be like, it's pretty cool, go and check out the WoW forums sometimes. But there was a huge thread that me and Genji found particularly interesting, which was what made TBC Heroics so hard. And everybody had all different points of view on what made the Burning Crusade Heroics so hard. The best response to that was, you've got to remember, right, the question is, what made the Burning Crusade Heroics so hard? That was the topic of the thread, and the thread is, I hear people talking about TBC Heroics being really hard. What made them so hard? And the best reply I found was, what made them hard is people back then didn't have the same HP as they have now. They also had less damage than they have now. Period. What? I read that as in hysterics. What the fuck does that even mean? Hey, you know why they were hard? Because we didn't have level 85 health and DPS. That's what made them hard. That was the crucial factor that made those dungeons hard, was that we didn't have level 85 DPS and health. Easy, dude. That's why they were hard. They were fucking hard because they were like 2 years ago and we didn't have the gear we had now. I can walk into Shroud Halls right now and kick its ass. No worries, mate. What a fucking bizarre comment that really was. Really weird. But what do you guys know? What do you guys know? Leaving you with a few topics to talk about there. Okay, 100 gazillion guns. Oh, Battlefield 2. Borderlands 2, I should say. Okay. Final Shadow coming. Final Shadow 3, the third. Final Shadow the third, son of Final Shadow the second. I was talking to a guildmate and he was telling me that tank threat was shit now. I was interested, so I got on my tank gear and my warrior and went into a 5-man. And lo and behold, I was having a very difficult time holding threat. You shouldn't be. Threat's fine. I never had any threat issues on my warrior. Things are slightly different, I guess. Not really. I'm trying to think of why you would be having an issue. Why would you be having an issue? You shouldn't be. You really shouldn't. There's no instant vengeance now. Kind of, there is though. You shouldn't be. I don't know how else to answer that question. I'm sorry, Final Shadow. You shouldn't be having issues. Is Guild Wars 2 a WoW killer? No, it's not. Everybody who's playing it freely admits that. That's not me being some smart-ass, egotistical asshole. Everybody I know who's playing it just quite simply says, no, it's not. It's a different style of game, very PvP-orientated. Very PvP-orientated. You can always read the forums. Have you looked at what Ghostcrawler was saying about Hunter aspects? Any comments from you? I've seen a lot of things on Ghostcrawler today that really make me sort of weep a little bit. Blizzard, you know what I do like about Blizzard sometimes? Is they don't mind telling you to go fuck yourself. That's a bold move. It really is. Too many people, a lot of YouTubers do this as well. They're like, oh, but I need to like lick the arsehole of my fans in order to be successful. Absolutely not. You've got to remember, this ties into the WoW forum thing. There's a big reason why the WoW forums are a big joke is, one, anybody can go there. It doesn't matter what intelligence, whether you're coherent, whether you can put together a sort of coherent thought. A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't. A lot of people cannot put a subjective or even an objective conclusion together. They look from things from their own personal, bizarre perspective and are often completely wrong. It's not difficult. I mean, I do the daily comment on here, but I look for things that I laugh at. Most of the comments I see and I consider for the daily comment and then drop are people saying, oh my god, you didn't drop a totem at like 16 minutes into the video and you say, always drop a totem, dude. You're so fucking bad. You're terrible. Right? It's just stupidity. It's blatant stupidity. Blizzard is not afraid to come back and say, you're so fucking stupid. We're not even talking about it. Such as with the looking for raid stuff. If I was posting on Blizzard's behalf, if I was Ghostcrawler, I would be very tempted when this huge thread popped up about looking for raid loot difficulty, saying, just linking the thread and just saying, we posted about this 4 months ago. And just like locking the thread. Like, you're fucking idiots, okay? This information is everywhere. This is one of the biggest games in the world. There are millions of news and fan sites dedicated to broadcasting our information, okay? If you can't find it or you haven't noticed it or nobody in trade chat, you must literally be in a cave in fucking Borean Tundra or in the Barrens. You must be living in the Barrens to not find it. So one of the biggest things I read about Ghostcrawler today, I haven't read specifically that Hunter thing. If you want to put a summary of the Hunter thing in the chat, I will have a quick read of it and see what I think. But one of the big things that they're moaning about, and they're being really arsey about it, Blizzard's like, are you fucking kidding me? Is about the talent changes. Talent changes are going to not please everybody. I personally am very pleased by the talent changes. Really pleased. It makes my life much more interesting from what I do work-wise, explaining stuff to you guys, and in my own playing of the game, which I still really love. People are like, I want a talent tree. And Blizzard's straight up responses. Yeah, one of their things, if you check MMO Champion, if you're watching this on YouTube, it might be previous day. But one of the comments they responded to is, I miss all the talent options. And Blizzard straight up, short and simple replies, which ones do you miss? Because it's a bullshit statement. People expect a talent tree in an RPG. I fully agree with Blizzard on this one. And Blizzard's straight up answering is, which ones? Which ones do you miss? And they will never get a good answer to that question. They really won't, other than, I like having a talent tree, which is one of the nonsensical things where you know you've won an argument with somebody. When they break down to something as base and as retarded as a comment like that, you've won the argument and you can leave it there. That's often when people go, right, fine, enough said. You're never going to win when people say, yeah, but I like a talent tree. What is it you like specifically about it? I feel a sense of progression, maybe, would be a nice answer to that. Yeah, but you still have that with the 3 talent choices that we're giving you every 15 levels. So there's still a sense of progression there. The fact that we unlock new spells as you level is still a sense of progression. And the gearing is still a sense of progression. So what do you think now? I like talent trees. You just can't win with these people. The problem is, talent trees are all very well and good 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we didn't understand how the MMO or even RPG game would develop to what it is now. Remember, within the last 20 years, we've come from typing walk through wood north as our RPG. Those were our RPGs 20 years ago. Now we're playing fucking World of Warcraft, Planetside 2. We're playing games where there's star cruisers full of people, all live, playing around the world, jumping out of them. The game's come a long way. And Blizzard and other MMOs, Guild Wars 2 is the same, have realised that talent trees are actually nonsense. Increasing your damage by X% isn't a choice. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's like, why wouldn't you take that? And in fact, you really alienate certain less intelligent people who don't want to read tooltips by making those talents not mandatory. People skipped Mortal Strike in an arms tree. Why did you do that? Well, I already have Heroic Strike. In one way, it makes complete logical sense. It sounded like Heroic Strike when I maybe read it. Or I read it, and yeah, it does a healing thing, but I don't care about healing thing. I have Heroic Strike. In a logical, silly way, it makes sense. On the face of it, at a very brazen, basic level, it completely makes sense. But a lot of people, like myself, will be reading it and going, wow, it's an extra attack, and it also hits really hard. I'm going to take that. And now, in 5 years later, it's like, why haven't you got Mortal Strike, you fucking idiot? These are the things that were happening, and that's what talent trees can do. By forcing people to have them, here, you level to 30. Here's your, level 10, is it now? Level 10, you got Mortal Strike, because it's good. Oh, cool. I don't have a choice in that. If you don't have a choice between Warbringer or Double Time, which is the choices now at level 15, you're not in that worse a situation. You're not as bad as somebody who skipped Mortal Strike. It's a much better design. Me and Genji were speaking about he loves the stuff on his priest and not so much on his rogue. And he was saying, you know, you talked about leeching poison and stuff, but I kind of want cheat death. And I was saying, hey, you know what? It's a good thing because on some fights you're going to want cheat death. On other fights you're going to want leeching poison. It gives us some choice. It's miles better. The talent tree system is fucking brilliant. And people are just... And Blizzard is brilliant in just saying, you know what? Fuck you, man. You're fucking idiots. We talked about the talent options months ago. There's a lot of rage going on saying... there was quite a logical argument put together, which was... I'll read it out. I'll read it out, why not? Are you really trying to sit here and suggest that this is a matter of some people don't like change? This is what a forum poster of the community posted. No, this is a matter of people don't like the development decisions. We want change. We have for a long time. Just not the changes that you are making. There is a huge difference. Part of the problem here, I feel, is a lack of acknowledgement coming from the developers towards the part of the community that disagrees with their current vision of the game. Chalking that up to a personality trait is ludicrous and insulting. For example, there was a lot of constructive criticism about this new talent system and class design. He did them, not me. Specifically, that the entire system was too dumbed down and we'd really like an actual talent system. How was this taken? Clearly, we still have the same thing in place. There is a lot of little things I could say about design, but at the end of the day, as the op said, the train goes on regardless. Sure, there may be some turns here and there, but at the end of the day, we're still on the same set of tracks. Blizzard straight up says, no, that's not stupid. You had constructive criticism. But Blizzard has decided, along with a lot of constructive criticism from other people, remember, your opinion is not always the correct one. My opinion is not always the correct one. But they've taken it as, you know what? You have a point. You like a talent system. We disagree with you. And they take that really badly, right? Really badly. Even a well thought out and put together comment like that is still taking something really badly. Just because you can write it coherently, that's just the next stage of arguing. And they're just like straight up, no, it's not. It's a simplification of what we're trying to achieve. Talents should be fun. They should be fun. It should be, ooh, do I want Warbringer? Do I want double time? Do I need Scythine here, or do I need this guy? What do I need here? This doesn't benefit me here. I can switch it out. That's all good. One moment. Mid-show interruption. Go. Oh, she's just knocking on the door mindlessly. And I really appreciate Blizzard's responses today, is that they're sick and tired of people not paying attention and then crying about it at the end, or believing that their opinion is the only one. And therefore, when Blizzard don't go ahead with that, that they're being shit on in some fashion. Any other questions? Let's get some questions, because I sort of overran. Oh, Hunter aspects were put on a 4-second cooldown for a while before the cooldown was removed after huge rage. Ghostcrawler said it was needed, and they're going to change it again soon. What do I think about that? I think PvP hunters might be more affected. They obviously want changing aspect to be a decision you think about. That's a big thing they seem to be sticking with. I don't tend to agree with that. One of the things they've implemented for warriors is that heroic strike should be something you think about. It never works out long term. It doesn't. It really doesn't. 4-second cooldown changing aspects. How could that be really abused? We've had that in the game. We've had global cooldown changing forever. And it's never been a big problem. I mean, we're basically talking about switching between Fox and maybe Ironhawk or aspects of the Hawk, aren't we, in PvP? It just seems to hurt PvPers. I'm pretty sure unless they're guaranteed to stand still, they're just going to roll in Fox. For PvE, it's not too bad, because you can plan a movement area 4 seconds in advance. And being an extra couple of seconds in Fox after moving, that's not too bad in PvE. You're going to lose a little DPS, but not a great deal over the long term of a fight. It seems to just really hurt PvPers for some reason. I don't know. I think that's pretty crazy. Cheat death kicks ass. How do you feel about Fury Warriors getting Brostorm? With Brostorm gone, why is Arms even an option? Arms is fantastic. Arms is brilliant. Go and try Arms, and then you tell me there's something wrong with it. Arms is really, really good. And Fury's really good too. I would say Fury's slightly less fun for me than Arms. But Arms wasn't made by Brostorm. Arms wasn't made by Brostorm. Dragon's Roar is equally as fun in my opinion. Bladestorm's kind of cool. The novelty of Bladestorm's worn off for me a little bit. Bladestorm is good in some situations in PvE. I like the choice, but some people who are new to the game will probably say Bladestorm is the bread and butter of the Arms spec. It isn't. Mortal Strike is. Mortal Strike has always been. The fact that you wield a two-hander, one big, strong two-hander smashing Goliath, is what made Arms the best. Was the signature of Arms, not Bladestorm. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, in a month's time we won't hear anything about the talents. Everybody will be like, oh, right, I can swap between them really easily. This is actually pretty cool. Yeah, we know. Wow, loads of chat about the text. Make sure you stick it on the YouTube comments, guys, so we can see that. Is the 100k mana cad... Oh, shit. I've got a puppy class. I'll have to leave.
Yes, you have.
I have a puppy class. I have to take Ben to puppy class. So I will love you and leave you, you wonderful audience. I'm sorry I didn't get to answer more questions. Here's a Ben update for you guys. Oh, look how big he is. Yeah. Aren't you, champ? So I have to leave you guys, unfortunately. We'll take all your questions and stuff tomorrow. Back to normal play tomorrow. And there'll also be some PvP stuff going on the channel. Tonight, I'm going to be doing Battlegrounds tonight. If any of you are on my real ID, which is full, and you want to do some Battlegrounds, I'm beyond tonight. We're doing them with quite a few people, checking out the new talents and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be on later this evening. See you later, ballers. Have a great day. Ah, my face!